go grab a snack because we're about to talk about the top 5 MVP candidates after week 7 in the NFL. It is Jerry Keg here bringing you the freshest sports takes you'll see. You won't see any of this stuff on ESPN, Sports Center, Bleacher Report, whatever you watch to get your sports media. This is where you're going to get the most authentic, raw sports takes. Sit down, like I said, go grab a snack and hunker down because we're going to be talking about the NFL MVP's top 5. I will say we got a pretty good slate here. I got to say there's some controversy on here, especially, honestly, number 5 is probably debatably the most controversial one, which is where we're going to actually jump in right away. Number 5, we have got Jaxon Smith-Njigba, JSN, also known as the best wide receiver in the league in the 2025 season. You heard it here first. He's even ahead of Big Bro, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Let's just look at some stats here for you guys. So, taking a look at these stats, guys, as you can see here, JSN's got 50 catches for 819 yards and 4 touchdowns. Wow, that's pretty good. The touchdown numbers don't, necessarily jump off the page right away, but let's talk about why he's at number 5, not just some of these stats. Let's break it down a little bit. JSN has a, by far, league high, not only yards, but also target shares. None of you guys are going to guess this target share number. 45.45% of the time. Just for reference, someone you'd think, oh, Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, these guys got to be up there as well. They are 33.5 and 31.5 respectively. No one is getting thrown the ball as much as JSN, and he is always open. I mean, he's crushing the wide receiver numbers. He's got 190 more yards in second place, which is Jamar Chase. And the other thing is Jamar Chase has ran, 266 routes. Okay, that's pretty good. You can expect some high numbers from him. Oh, I bet JSN's probably ran like maybe 240, 250. Again, you would be wrong, my friend. He's got only 192 routes run, and he's dominating with 190 more yards. I mean, no one else is even that close to him. You got Emeka Egbuka, another top wide receiver. He got 243. George Pickens got 262. Jamon Ross got 211. Justin Jefferson got 222. Those are a little bit more in that ballpark. But all these top wide receivers got pretty much over 200. And JSN's only got 192, getting thrown the ball about 50% of the time. And he's still catching all the time. He's got a 72% catch rate. Nothing outrageous, I will say. But that's pretty darn good. You'd think George Pickens has a pretty high catch rate. His is only 67.5. That's not that good. But George Pickens is George Pickens himself. I mean, hey, some more comparisons. Emeka Egbuka is only 57%. Justin Jefferson is only about 65%. I will say some of that comes down to some quarterback play. I know this is about MVPs. I wanted to put Baker in here, but after that Monday Night Lions game against legitimately the most practice squad random cornerbacks of all time, he looked human. And it was a shame because I really love me some Baker Mayfield. I was really hype on him. I wanted to make a video just talking about him, but unfortunately, he did not make the cut. Instead, we got JSN in here at number 5, and we're going to be moving on to number 4. Now, guys, I know I said this was a bit of a shocker, but realistically, I don't think anyone's surprised to see the guy here at number 4, and that is the boy JT, Jonathan Taylor, for the Indianapolis Colts. Gosh, Jonathan Taylor. Everyone wants to give Daniel Jones his credit. And you know what? Daniel Jones, he deserves some credit, man. I mean, he's playing the best he's really ever played. But a large part of that is, the offensive line, which leads to Jonathan Taylor just dominating out there. I mean, he's definitely been I don't know if you would say the best running back in the league. A little foreshadowing, perhaps. But, definitely, debatably the best running back in the league. I mean, when he's playing at an all-time level, the Colts are good. I mean, back in 2021, that is. He rushed for, 1,811 yards, 18 tubs. Pretty darn good. Well, this year, he's pretty much on that same pace, if not a little bit better. He's got 131 attempts, which is second in the league, only behind the boy CMC. But he have a leading 697 rushing yards, averaging 5.3 a pop. Also has 10 rushing touchdowns, along with a receiving touchdown and 23 catches on 25 targets for 185 yards. So he's almost at 1,000 yards. This guy is just winning games for the Colts. No one can stop him. You try to, defenses want to say, hey, let's hone in on Jonathan Taylor. We're not going to let him run all over us. Well, I mean, hey, Daniel Jones, little Indiana Jones out there. he's making teams pay, which is the biggest shock of the world. I mean, if you said you had that, on your bingo card, you just lying to everybody. But Jonathan Taylor, he's just been dominant all year so far. I mean, 3 games with 3 touchdowns so far? I mean, not always against the best competition, but this team could have easily been undefeated. Adonai Mitchell, sorry, bud, but got to hang on to the ball next time. I'm pretty sure he kind of been like benched and whatnot after that, but that's a whole another conversation. But you just got to give your flowers. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, in my opinion, the main reason that this Colts team is, only got 1 loss on the year, and he's just chugging along. I mean, like I said, averaging 5.3 a carry, only 0.2 less than he did his 2021 year, where he's averaging 5.5. When this guy is healthy, I mean, it's hard to argue that he's not the best running back in the league, and that's why I got him at number 4. I mean, his impact on the Colts is the reason that they got the best record in football right now. But we're going to be moving on to number 3, and I kind of get a little bit of foreshadowing, and you're going to see who this guy is in just a moment. Moving on to big old number 3. And for number 3, kind of alluded to it a little bit in that Jonathan Taylor segment, but it's going to be the other running back on this list and the last non-quarterback, Mr. CMC, Christian McCaffrey. Hoo-wee! When this guy is healthy, gosh, I mean, if you could give one guy just like that, I never want you to get hurt for the rest of your career, like some golden ticket, I think it'd be hard not to give to this guy. I mean, when he's healthy, he's probably a top 5 player every year. Well, let's talk about this year, though, because this is the year we're talking about. First off, the Niners are 5-2, and they got the medical room. They should be called the San Francisco Blue Tents, because everyone takes a visit to the Blue Tent at least once a season, and so far CMC has avoided that. Let's knock on wood a little bit, because we don't want to see that happen anytime soon, because he is balling right now. He is, like I kind of alluded, he's got 132 rushing yards, 1 more than Jonathan Taylor, and he's only got 465 yards, only averaging 3.5 a pop, 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's pretty solid. You're not going to be upset by those numbers, but you're going to say, well, Jerry, why you got him above JT? They got 1 more loss, and, he's got not nearly as many rushing yards as JT. But let me tell you, does Jonathan Taylor, that is, have 53 catches for 516 yards and another 3 touchdowns? What the hell? I mean, dude, this guy is leading the team in rushing, leading the team in receptions, and I believe leading the team in receiving yards by like 160. I mean, CMC debatably could be the number 1. I mean, I honestly debated a lot having him at 2 or 1. I mean, you'll see why I had the other guys there. I mean, you can assume now their quarterbacks has become the quarterback award, but we don't want to talk too much about the beginning. He's also, receiving-wise, averaging 9.7. Every time he catches the ball, he's basically getting the first down. And he's caught the ball 53 times. What? I mean, it's unreal what he's doing out there. He only has 1 fumble on the year, and he didn't even lose it. So he's caused no turnovers. I mean, and he's making Mac Jones look pretty decent out there. Mac Jones isn't a horrible quarterback, but he's nothing too special. But when you're throwing it to CMC or just handing it off to him, good things happen. He's already pretty much at 1,000 total yards through 7 weeks. Also, he's got the highest snap percentage that he's had since I think it was his 2019 year on Carolina. What is that, 88%? It's at 84%. This guy's on the field almost all game. A little bit of an injury-prone guy too, but he's staying healthy and just balling out here. I mean, I don't think the Niners are even relevant without CMC. I mean, if he gets hurt, you might as well just, if you're a Niners fan, just stop watching it, because there's nothing you're going to see different. He is your team. He is your offense. And CMC, like I said, if some of you guys want him at 2 or 1, I'm not going to fight you on that. I think he absolutely has earned all his flowers in the MVP conversation. Jonathan Taylor has been pretty good, but he's got a good offensive line and a decent quarterback and a great play caller. I mean, Kyle Shanahan for the Niners, I just want all the flowers to him. I mean, CMC's balling, but what they're able to do with, just the lack of players and the interchanging every week is really impressive. 5-2. Absolutely, they deserve their flowers, the San Francisco 49ers. And, that hurts me a little bit as a Cincinnati Bengals fan. But either way, you got to give the Niners credit. CMC absolutely deserving this number 3 spot. And like I said, he could be 2 or 1, and I wouldn't even fight you on that. But the last 2 guys we got on this list, in my opinion, are just so valuable to their team. And they got some stats to back that up. Well, we're going to start going into that, and we're going to be going in at number 2. And guys, this number 2 spot, I really want to put him at 1. I want him at 1 so darn bad, but we're going to put him at number 2 for now, and that is the boy, Drake Maye for the New England Patriots. Get me on that Maye train. I don't care where it's going. I want first class, and I'm on that train all the way. This dude is a bona fide stud. Anyone else that disagrees has not watched any Drake Maye games. I don't care what you say. Well, they played some cupcakes. Their schedule's not that good. Yada, yada, yada. I don't care. What he's doing out there is ridiculous. He throws the best ball in the league. I don't know if you could even argue with that one. I mean, it is gorgeous looking that thing just spiral up in the air. It is so darn nice. And he is winning big games when he needs to. You know, they had the early loss to the Raiders, and everyone's going to say, oh, I lost to the Raiders. They're irrelevant. But week 1, you know, I don't give a lot of credit to week 1 and just a little college football. You know, Alabama lost to FSU week 1, and I still think Alabama's a top 2 team. I think the only other team better would be Ohio State, but we're not talking about college. I'll go on a whole nother tangent about that. We're talking about Drake Maye, and let's just give you some stats to say, okay, well, why do you have this guy so high? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the stats are just unbelievable in a sense. I mean, they won't jump off the page, but some of those advanced stats are just, so nice. Let's just look at some of these general stats here. He's got 1,744 passing yards, 8th in the NFL. 12 touchdowns, also 8th in the NFL. Only 2 picks, and his QBR of 76.8, which is 4th. Okay, those are pretty good numbers. Nothing absolutely unreal, you might say. But let's look at some of these more advanced stats, okay? Well, before we do that, let's also add, he got 200 rushing yards for another 2 touchdowns. So dude's got, 14 touchdowns on the year, only 2 picks, 7-1, all things considered. I'd say that's pretty darn good. Also has the second most yards per attempt this year, which leads me into his completion percentage, which is number 1 in the league, 75.25%. So this guy's throwing the ball farther than most quarterbacks, pretty much all other quarterbacks. I think the only one that's throwing farther is Sam Darnold. The Sam Darnold's throwing at 68%. This dude is throwing about 0.4 yards less and throwing at 75.2%. I mean, these balls are just going exactly, balls are in buckets. That's where he's throwing them in absolute buckets every time. They got some decent wide receivers, but compared to some of these other guys, he's not dealing with nearly as much talent. And also, he's got some really nice advanced stats for you guys. His total EPA, which for those who aren't always fully aware of this is expected points added. It's one of those like key advanced stats, shows basically how much they can potentially score on a play-by-play basis. And he is number 2 in that. And the guy who's number 1 is actually my MVP number 1 spot, which we'll get into a little bit. If you guys do know that stat, then you'll know who it is, but I'm sure most of you do not. But either way, he is got basically expected to score the second most out of all these other quarterbacks. He's throwing the ball at the best percentage of all these quarterbacks. He's taking care of the ball pretty darn good as well as all these other elite quarterbacks. And they're also winning some games. I mean, they're 5-2. They have 2 losses, one to the Steelers and one a week 1 loss to the Raiders. The week 1 loss, I'm not putting much stock into that. That was week 1. No film on either team. It's a bit of a, those are the games you can lose and bounce back super easily. I'm not too upset about that. The Steelers loss, it was not as great, but also the Steelers defense, is a pretty good defense, I guess, unless they're going against Joe Flacco and the Bengals. But either way, Drake Maye is just showing to me why was the best quarterback in last year's draft. His stats just jump off the page to me, especially his advanced stats, just show you the impact that he really has on this team. But other than that, I don't want to ramble too much about Drake Maye because, to be honest, I could probably talk about him all day long. I just love me some Drake Maye. That Maye train is chugging along, and I expect it to do so for the rest of the season. But without further ado, we're going to move on to the number 1 spot on the Jerry Keg Week 7 Top 5 MVP, guys. A little bit too early, some may say, but hey, we'll see how well this ages. But moving on to number 1, we've got the NFL's golden boy himself, Patrick Mahomes. And don't get that twisted. I am not a Patrick Mahomes fan, as you guys you've heard me say a couple times. I'm a Bengals fan, so you can imagine my hatred for this team runs deep. But I'm trying to be as objective as I can in these lists, and I can't say that Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, is not playing as an MVP level. And also, there's some more things we'll get into a little bit why I think he is the number one spot over some of these other guys. But like we always do, let's jump into some of these stats. 1,800 yards on the dot, 14 touchdowns. Both of those are fourth in the NFL. Again, only 2 picks and a QBR of 77.7, just above Drake Maye. That's at number 3. And some of these, and just those stats are pretty good. I mean, he's pretty much top 5 in every category you want him to be. You know, their record isn't as great as expected to be, but I'm not really all that worried about that, because another thing that we want to mention, we mentioned it with the other 2 quarterbacks, rushing stats. Right now, Patrick Mahomes has got 250 rushing yards, averaging 6 a pop, and he's got another 4 touchdowns in addition to that, and no fumbles. So he's adding another 4 touchdowns to the 14. So he's got 18 total touchdowns on the year and over 2,000 total yards through 7 weeks. That sounds like some MVP levels to me, but like I kind of mentioned earlier, advanced stats. Let's do some advanced stats. Well, his total EPA is the highest in the league. When Patrick Mahomes is on the field, the Chiefs are expected to score the most points out of any other quarterback in the league, just based off the stats. This is not some like, oh, this is my opinion. This is a fact. They score the most points when he touches the field. And he's just, I mean, I don't know if anyone's really that surprised by that. I mean, Patrick Mahomes has pretty much been the best quarterback in the league now since 2018. You know, some guys have maybe better seasons, but at the end of the game, who do you want with the ball? You kind of want Patrick Mahomes back there. And another reason you want him, which is some people might not like this argument, but I think this is a very valid argument on the MVP because, you know, the MVP is the most valuable player. And a lot of times, you know, it's the best stats, all that stuff. And, you know, there's some guys who can say, well, he's more valuable than this guy. He's not on the list. And I do take that. I think, you know, it's a healthy balance of value and stats. Well, Mahomes has the stats for MVP. And gosh, he might have the highest value in the league. And part of my argument is, listen, he's the golden boy. He can kind of do whatever he wants, and there gets no repercussions. He's not going to get flagged. They're going to get flags in their benefit. I mean, that type of stuff helps you win games when you have the refs kind of helping you out some games. And that is a very valid point in value. They love Mahomes. They want Mahomes to win. He's good for the sport. They get all the Swiftie money. They get all this other money going in when Mahomes is good, because also the Chiefs got a pretty darn good fan base. Even before they had Patrick Mahomes out there, they've always been a really good fan base. I do want to give credits to the Chief Kingdom. I don't really like saying it, but it's true. They probably have a top 5 fan base. You know, fan attendance the last 2 years was number 1 with the Bengals both times. But either way, Mahomes and the Chiefs win games. Record is not really that concerning to me. They're right in the ship right now. They're getting Rashee Rice back. You saw what he can do last game. He is that X factor at wide receiver that they've been missing the last 2 years. I really expect another good run from the Chiefs here. Don't be surprised if Patrick Mahomes is your MVP by the end of the year. But that's going to wrap my top 5 list. Just to go over it one more time. At number 5, we got Jaxon, Jonathan Taylor at number 4. Number 3, CMC. And number 2, Drake Maye. And then, as you guys just heard, number 1 is the Patrick Mahomes, the golden boy up there. He's going to be hard to dethrone, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of people saying, well, what about Daniel Jones? What about yada, yada, yada? Well, I want to hear you. Argue with me down below. And stay tuned for some more NFL content, guys. Peace and love.